G'day CrossLife, Matt Hunt here. I just wanted to give you an update on where our finances are in response to what we said to you back in May. If you remember back in May, we were projecting an $80,000 deficit over the entire year, which we could not fund. And so we came to us and asked us all to pray and say, Lord, what would you want us to do in response to that? And we want to report back to you what's happened. I want to tell you basically God has done a miracle amongst us. You see, back at the end of April, our offering was about $680 behind its target, which was about $11,000 to that point of the year and projecting to be a $35,000 loss just on offering income over the entire year. At the 18th of August, our offering was now $667 above target. That's an increase of $1,347 a week over those 16 weeks. Thank you so much for being a part of God's miracle work amongst us. Let's thank God and thank one another with that. In addition to that, some people have made one-off gifts of up to $30,000 to help to cover the whole. And our cash reserve, which was basically nothing at the end of April, is now $16,000, which we believe needs to increase. Think of a rainy day fund. It needs to increase, and we'll be watching that as a board and letting you know how that goes. But it's also our expenditure that's been under pressure. We want to report that back to you. We put a expense freeze in place in April to just check how expenses were going against budget, and we've found there's a number of things that have been having to be continue to be spent outside of the budget. One of them is a timing issue where money came in for Crossroads and food pantries last year, was reported last year, it's spent this year. That puts pressure on our bottom line. Other places where expenses that you can't manage, and some of them have been unintended or unplanned budgeting that need expenses that we need to continue. So we did some things of that, and we see God saying a number of things to us about next steps. One of them is He provides. Let's keep trusting Him and moving forward. Secondly, we've got to be managing our expenses. And so we're going to be watching that and keeping you updated. And if our cash reserve grows, we can keep going. If it doesn't, we may need to do some more cuts, and we'll let you know about that. And it's also about our finance plan for next year that we're working on now. It'll be like a holding budget, and we'll talk to you about it as we normally do in the month up to our AGM, which is in the 5th of November. You'll see it in October. We'll have forums to talk about it. If there requires some sort of offering increase for CPI things and other bits and pieces, we'll be speaking to you about that. But we ask you now to be praying, Lord, what do you want me to do next year? Let me encourage you. God has done a great miracle amongst us. He wants us to continue to follow Him. We think He wants us to recommit to His vision and mission for CrossLife across all our campuses. And as we trust Him, as we look to Him, God will continue to work amongst us. You know, in Acts 19, when Paul was ministering in the city of Ephesus, one of the big cities in Asia Minor in the early, at that time, miraculous things were going on. People were being healed under his handkerchief. People were coming to follow Jesus. In response to that miraculous work, you know what they did? They burnt the scrolls of their previous work. They left behind what they used to do and trusted God all the more because they could see He was powerful and at work. Well, our prayer is that you'll continue to be like that in response to God's miraculous power now. Let's keep our giving going. We're 4% above now. We need to continue that so we can get this cash reserve up and fund our ministry. And let's keep praying and thanking God and also meeting together. We'll have a prayer and Thanksgiving night coming up in the next month. Please come along and join that. It's important for us to do that. And we thank you again for your care, your prayers, your giving, and your love as a church. God bless. We'll see you soon.